Hello and welcome to IM Movies. Everything that starts with bad intentions ends up being bad. The movie starts with three friends, Mike, Russell, and Gabe, working as private contractors. They are worried about the woman they are working for after their boss, Vasily, a Russian mobster, has been arrested. They have been assigned a job, and Gabe offers to include Franco and Marcus in this as they need more men, and he has trained with Marcus. Mike seems worried and claims that he is not worried about Marcus, but about Franco. After that, we see glimpses of how their boss was captured for murdering someone. Mike and his gang, including Franco and Marcus, are seen heading towards their destination when Franco makes fun of Gabe and his girlfriend, but Russell stops him. The scene shifts to the wife of their boss and the lady they are working for, Irina, who is seen with her nephew, Felix, and sister, Elena. She gets a call, and upon coming out, she finds her rivals captured in the trunk of a car and orders her men to get rid of them. Soon, Mike and his team arrive at First National Bank and enter to get their objective, while Russell stays outside and updates them about the police. Mike and his men inside the bank find the bank manager, Walter, and when he tries to act smart, they show him pictures of his family and the schools where his kids study. Walter gets scared and helps them find their objective, while Gabe gets greedy and steals some money from the bank on his way out. Before the police may arrive, Mike and his friends evacuate the bank, and Mike leaves two bombs at the gate. They get inside their car, and Russell keeps guiding them until the dye packet inside the objective bag bursts. And Gabe fails to follow Russell's instructions. Still, they stick to their plan and escape by scaring the people and destroying their cars. At the extraction site, Franco and Marcus get mad at Gabe for stealing the money, while Mike calms them and prevents Franco from ever pointing his gun at him again. They get separated, and from their badges, it is indicated that Franco and Marcus are cops. Mike meets the Russians working for his boss and gives them a package. On the other hand, Special Officer Jeffrey Allen is seen investigating the crime scene when he meets Walter. After learning that the thieves have information about him, he asks him to be careful about what he uploads on social media. After that, a new cop, Chris, arrives to join the police station when his wife motivates him and sends him inside. As he enters the office, Sarge questions his men about the gang initiation report but gets no serious reply from his colleagues. Suddenly, Marcus joins them, listens to the announcement that Special Crime Officer Jeffrey Allen will deal with the bank robbery, and introduces Chris as his nephew. Sarge pairs Chris with Marcus and denies listening to anything when he tries to object to his decision.
Hey, Sarge, can we talk about this?
Hell no.
Chris and Marcus continue their job when Marcus helps an officer get rid of a lady at Shanna's who misbehaves at the petrol pump. Following that, Mike arrives at Irina's place and meets his son Felix, revealing that Irina is his sister-in-law and he is married to Elena. Mike comes inside and demands money for the job, but Irina refuses, stating that she has one more job for him and calling her sister stupid for her bad choice regarding men. Mike looks at the feds at Irina's place and asks him what she is trying to do, but she ignores him and walks away. Listening to Vasily's call, she mentions that the feds have tracked the file at the Homeland Security Center.
The FBI have traced the files.
Upon learning that Mike is still resistant, Vasily orders his wife to threaten him. Later that night, Mike calls Russell, informs him of one more job from Irina, and calls him to meet. As Russell gets inside the car, Irina's men attack him. Mike, Franco, Marcus, and Gabe gather, and after waiting for a while, they are all worried about the task Irina has assigned them. They are arguing about what to do when Irina's men leave Russell in his car. Mike and his friends find Russell in very bad condition, while Gabe is sad after seeing his brother die. Marcus comforts him, and Mike shoots him in the head after checking Russell's condition. Jeffrey reaches his office at night, and after noticing the video of Mike and his friends, he concludes that some of them have military training. Later, Mike and his team reunite when he tells them he is unsure about what Irina needs, but he knows it is inside the Homeland Security Center. He adds that they will have more than 10 guards there, and Franco mentions that the police will reach them within 3 minutes. They're worried about what to do when Franco states they can use 999 to get more time, but Gabe is against this. The following day, Marcus and Chris arrive at a crime scene, where they look at the 3 severed heads and Marcus introduces Chris to Franco as his partner. Chris says hi to him and leaves to investigate the street people looking at the crime scene. Meanwhile, Marcus recognizes one of the dead men, and as Chris tries to question people about the murder, a man named Luis Pinto resists and misbehaves with him. Chris arrests him, which is about to start a riot there, but Marcus comes there and leads him to a store. He tells him that the rules here are different, and that the man he has arrested holds authority in the street gang. Chris disagrees and leaves, asking him to stop pretending he knows more than him. Mike and his friends meet again in the evening when he learns that the 999 includes killing a cop and diverting all the attention there while they can easily do their job. Mike confirms whether they can do this and allows them to do it. Franco suggests he take care of Gabe, who is not in his senses, but he tells him not to worry about him and leads him away. After Mike and Gabe leave, Franco convinces Marcus to do the job by mentioning the funerals he has attended. In the meantime, Jeffrey is seen at Chris's house with his son when they go to a bar. Chris tells him he wants to make a difference, while Jeffrey replies that he cannot do it and asks him to get this notion out of his mind.
You ain't gonna make a fucking difference. Get that notion out of your head.
He asks him to focus on returning home safely and mentions that everyone is ready to kill him when they can. Elena returns to Mike's apartment with his son when Mike tries to talk to her. She states that she barely convinced Irina not to kill him, but he forced her to arrange his meeting with her. The next day, Mike and Felix arrive at Irina's house when he tries to talk to her about Russell, but she ignores him and instead mentions that Vasily is asking for updates. Mike replies that they have found a way to do the job. On the other hand, Chris is stressed because of Marcus, but his wife cheers him up. Later, Mike and his team gather when Marcus mentions that he does not care for his partner and is their perfect target, as Jeffrey will send the whole force to avenge his nephew's murderer.
The minute Jeffrey Allen his nephew is down.
So, Mike agrees and drops Gabe off at his house when he feels sorry for Chris and states that he has done nothing. Mike loses his mind and orders him to get out of his car. The next day, Marcus and Chris come to Lewis's house when Marcus leaves him alone to talk to his source. A kid meets Chris and argues with him about arresting Lewis, but Marcus returns and makes him run away. At the same time, Jeffrey learns that someone named Sweet Pea
Hey, someone named Sweet Pea called you back?
has reached him and wants to talk to him. Jeffrey meets Sweet Pea, who appears to be transgender. When asked about the information, Sweet Pea demands money and tells him about Gabe's girlfriend, Leah, who has told him about how he returned covered in pink dye. Jeffrey understands it's him, while Marcus and Chris are seen observing a man named Fernando Riviera, also known as Termite. Chris and Marcus get ready to attack his house with their team as his wife leaves. As they arrive at his threshold, Marcus gives the lead to Chris, and after fighting Termite's friends, they reach a room where they find his son. They carefully check everything and find him running outside. Chris and Marcus follow him, but they get stopped by the other gang members shooting at them. As the firing stops and Chris tries to rush, Termite shoots him, but the bullet hits his vest. After confirming that Chris is fine, Marcus rushes to follow Termite. After a while, Chris finds Marcus struggling with Termite, but he shoots Termite and kills him. Luis Pinto is spotted observing everything. After the crime report, Marcus and Chris share a few drinks when he tells him about the man named Tank he killed and fails to recall a single bullet from yesterday. Chris and Marcus seem to be happy together, while Mike meets Irina, who informs him that their job will help Vasily get out of jail. Mike does not pay attention to her and questions her about his son. She contacts Felix, who is very happy at the beach, and after the call ends, Irina threatens to kill his son and wife if he refuses to take the job. Irina then shows him the picture of the objective and mentions its location. Marcus and Chris are having a good time at a bar when Gabe comes to see him, but Chris beats him for this and makes him leave. On the other hand, Jeffrey fixes surveillance cameras around Gabe's house and monitors him. After a while, he finds his girlfriend buying drugs and captures her. He gets high in her car, and as she tries to take the drugs from him, Jeffrey gives him two choices. Later, Jeffrey gets information about Gabe and learns that he has served in the police, and he orders Ling to find someone with him. At night, Ling informs him that Jeffrey has been spotted around Chris's house, and he rushes to save him. Before Jeffrey can arrive, Chris escapes. Jeffrey meets Chris and shows Gabe's picture, but he does not recognize him and wonders why he came here.
Why would he come here?
Jeffrey gets a call and learns everything about Gabe, Russell, and their relationship with Mike and Vasily. He is informed that Putin is so scared of Vasily that he put him in jail without any charges. The next day, Franco asks Mike to take care of Gabe and states that he is under surveillance now and Jeffrey knows everything. Mike is irritated, and Gabe gets a call from Mike after he sends him Leah's pictures. Mike orders him to stay out of police sight and disconnects the call when he begs him to let Leah go. Following that, Jeffrey is at his office when he asks his colleagues about the information on Mike, Gabe, and Irina, but they fail to provide any leads. He orders them to get him something instead of "I don't know." Mike, Franco, and Marcus conduct a meeting to confirm whether they are ready, and both of them claim that they are willing to act on their plan as they bring Chris to their decided location. Next, Marcus brings Chris to the abandoned public housing project's 8th and Washington buildings, stating that he wants to see his informant. As the duo enters the building, Mike and Franco are seen waiting for 999 to conduct their action. Marcus and Chris look around and separate. Chris tries to contact him,
Marcus, where'd you go?
but fails when Gabe suddenly appears in front of him. He tries to warn him that he is Chris, but Lewis appears and shoots at him. Chris hides while Gabe gets shot and is severely injured. Chris is trying to help Gabe when Marcus arrives and is about to shoot him when Gabe shoots him in the head and dies after getting shot by Chris. Chris thinks Marcus is dead and calls for 999. As Franco and Mike listen to the news, they attack the Homeland Security Center. At the same time, Jeffrey gets the information that Chris has called for 999, so he rushes to see what happened. They're on their way when the guards at the Homeland Security Center call for help, but Jeffrey ignores them. Mike finds little bombs on the guards' feet and heads. As a warning, he hurts a guard and gets access to his objective. As they get free, the police arrive outside, so they use 2 guards as hostages and escape the building despite being under heavy fire. Mike gets shot in the hand while Franco is safe and contacts his boss to inform him that he is en route to 999. Meanwhile, Jeffrey questions Chris about whether he had seen Gabe earlier, and he mentions that Marcus knew him because he argued with him a few weeks ago. Jeffrey comprehends that Marcus is involved in everything, and soon Franco arrives. He also learns that Chris knows about Gabe and Marcus, while when he talks about Lewis, Franco reveals that he got surrounded a few blocks from here.
Louis Pinto's surrounded by SWAT a couple blocks from here.
Following that, Mike meets Irina and her men, holding a gift for his son. Irina questions him about his crew, but Mike does not tell her anything, and when she tries to argue, Mike gives her the objective and asks for his son in return. Irina's men overpower him, but she stops them from killing him, stating that her sister will not forgive her and Felix won't love her for this. When Irina leaves, Mike gets up, and after she has covered a certain distance, Mike destroys her car by exploding the bomb inside the toy and looks at her dead body while passing by. Chris is at the hospital when his wife comes to see him, and she is happy to know he is fine. After that, Chris learns that Lewis has been killed, so he visits his dead body, and upon checking his belongings, he learns that Marcus sold him out. Subsequently, Mike is leaving the area when he stops looking at a police car chasing him, but Franco appears and asks him not to worry. Franco questions him about the money and says goodbye until the next time when he finds Mike worried and kills him. Franco then picks up the money and returns to his car. Chris then returns to the street and questions the same kid he encountered earlier about whether Marcus came to see Lewis the day he got shot. After the kid confirms, Chris meets his uncle and tells him about Marcus's role in the plan to get him killed. Jeffrey is then concerned about the 4th man and states that whoever he is, he wears a badge. In the evening, he reaches Ling again and asks her a favor about the officer who arrived first at the crime scene when Lee was found dead.
I need the name of the lead cop on the scene.
But she requests him to keep it secret. Chris sees Marcus in a coma and calls him worthless when Franco says he wants Chris to come to the station to record his full statement. Chris accompanies him to the lift when Jeffrey calls him and divulges that the 4th man is Franco. Chris becomes careful about him, and after reaching the parking area, he leaves Chris alone to return to his car. As Franco gets inside, he finds Jeffrey waiting for him. As Jeffrey shoots him in the head, Franco dies after shooting it in the chest. Chris listens to the gunshots, and as he comes near the car, he finds his uncle smiling. And that's the end of this recap. Click the like and smash the subscribe button to help this channel out. Till next time.